Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Major confirmations yesterday with MIBR officially confirming that Aspas will be on their starting lineup for next season. They've officially confirmed their full roster, but some very interesting details as well. MIBR's Aspas contract only runs until the end of the upcoming season. The rest of the team, we believe, goes until the end of 2026. Is this tactical from MIBR or from Aspas to ensure no buyout affect his future career instead? Whether in the future, let's say in 1 year's time, a Pacific organization comes through and gets him, how successful is this roster going to be? Are they going to be a serious contender and challenger to the best teams in the Americas? Lots of reaction from many pro players to that. Very much enjoyed to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. First of all, few interesting updates from Riot Games yesterday. So changes to policy starting at the beginning of next year. Now, I'll mention a couple of things first before we get back to this. Firstly, on the stream sniping, they say that it's explicitly against their rules. Players who do so may be penalized. So they say this. Now, whether they can actually execute this, that is a question, but Riot will soon take reports, take reports and action on cases of players who stream snipe our creators. So yeah, I don't know whether maybe the players don't need to any longer set 20-minute delays, but still, it is an interesting piece that Riot are apparently going to try and directly target those that are stream sniping. Also, this I thought was interesting. So players that promote boosting or buying and selling their accounts, they are going to get banned. This, though, is maybe the most controversial one. So we know that right now, if you're in the game and you talk trash in game chat to an extent that Riot doesn't like, and obviously hateful slurs and this type of stuff, if you use this type of stuff in the game, Riot's going to ban you. But Riot are now saying, all right, we're still going to do that if you're doing that off platform. So the idea being that if you exhibit any harmful behaviors, that would maybe catch the attention of Riot if you said it in the game chat in the game. If you do that on stream to a teammate or whatever, even if they can't hear you, they are still considering that behavior that occurred in game. And they are still considering that behavior that occurred in-game, and therefore there will be repercussions, they say. Now, exactly how they're going to watch everyone's streams, like, not necessarily, maybe if clips get sent in, that's what's kind of interesting. I think what is concerning to some, and people were talking about, is that, okay, can they use this for other motives? I think that is the potential precedent here, is that, okay, you're now saying, oh, well, if you use any sort of harmful language or behavior on stream while playing Valorant, we can potentially ban you or take effect. So, will Riot use that in ways, let's say there's a creator that talks trash on Valorant as a game, will they be more inclined to use this ruling in order to, make maybe repercussions against that certain creator they might not do for another creator? It's interesting, right? Certain creators might be kind of concerned about this, and maybe understandably. And also, my argument would be, I think there are bigger problems in the game, personally, smurfers, people throwing, and like just the state of ranked in general that might be worthy of attention more so than this. But yeah, intrigued to your perspective in the comment section below, and I do think it's a bit concerning. Like, I don't really want the developer to be going to this level when, you're now watching people's streams, and I don't know, I just don't think it's right. Now, of course, we also have the Valorant Radiant Asia Invitational currently going down, concluding in a couple of days' time, and of course, based on the Swiss stage, we had lots of interesting results. Gen.G out, Edward Gaming out, RRQ, Billy Gaming also out. But as it stands in the playoffs, we have a banger on our hands again. Is there any surprise? DRX PaperX is back at it again. As I'm recording this video, Sunset was 15-13 to PaperX. The Abyss was 13-6 back the other way to DRX. And now we're on the Pearl, the final map of the series. And as it stands, it's a 6-4 advantage for, PaperX on this final map of the series. But yeah, again, DRX PaperX always seems to deliver. There is a losers bracket in this tournament too, so whoever loses this will go down to the lower side with a chance to still potentially win the entire tournament. But I mean, yeah, have a look at this, look at the arena, but it's a tech pause. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised at all. But yeah, currently 6-4 to PaperX on this one. Of course, we'll talk about the result tomorrow, and PaperX are the marginal favourites here, and of course, shortly after this one is going to be DFM versus Trace Esports. DFM probably favoured there. there. So, it's going to be fascinating to see who wins this, but this especially is a series, as always, for the ages. But let's talk about Aspas and MIBR, because this has been a big talking point of the last couple of weeks. When's this going to get confirmed? What are they going to do about it? Like, and what's the full roster going to be? But yes, Aspas, after all the drama of the most recent season, we know that things with Lev were not in a good spot since basically December last year. I don't think Aspas was happy about the way that Nozra was treated behind the scenes at Lev, and it seemed to create friction already at the start of last year. And I think there was a rumor really that Aspas was just not happy since that point. And the feeling therefore is that, Aspas had basically already decided himself that after maybe the Lev drama happens this time last year roughly, that he was not going to stay on Lev for the longer term, and as soon as the option was there, he wanted to go at the end of the season. Now, of course, he still had a contract, and therefore that required a buyout. Not many organizations were able to do that. Of course, Bleed Esports, they wanted to do it, and then all the drama happened because of that. Maybe there were two other organizations that could, one of which MIBR. So Aspas to MIBR is now officially a thing. Of course, they've not got infinite money to build a complete super team around it, but I feel like the team that they've built is actually pretty okay. And Aspas, of course, is excited for the future here. As Zelsis says, yep, back on a team. And obviously there's some concern by some of the players about what this is going to look like, right? So, Sentinels say here in the replies, I think this means like the bad thing is back or whatever, right? So, of course, people are going to be, concerned about what Aspas could potentially do in the upcoming season. And especially lots of replies to that end after this clip that Aspas came out with, which is, pretty unbelievable stuff. So, it's a 26-second clip here on the bind. Just thought I'd share real quick because, with the Sheriff in hands, he was hitting some serious shots. The third shot was nice. And then, of course, using the jet, getting out of there. He's also using the regenerating shield here, which is kind of interesting because it does actually help him quite a lot in this instance. That was an outrageous shot. To be fair, maybe it doesn't help him much because he was just killing them anyway very easily. But, disgusting ace there from Aspas, and he's back in business for the new season. What does that look like, though, for MIBR? Because pretty sure, based on the database, every other player on the team, so Nozra, confirmed, Cortasia, confirmed, Zenem, and then Artzan, they are all on a basically 2-year deal until the end of 2026. Aspas's deal is only a 1-year deal. So I think this is probably strategic on both sides. Obviously, MIBR don't have to commit to Aspas for as long from like a money side, but equally that does mean that Aspas's contract will be over at the end of the season. There's no buyout involved. He can feel free to leave to go to another team if he wants to. So there is a good chance this is Aspas's only year on MIBR, and we'll see how he fares. Maybe even for Aspas, he's like, look, there's certain teams I want to go to, but it wasn't going to happen this year because, he required a buyout to leave Lev to go to the teams that he really wanted to go to. MIBR, I'm sure he's reasonably happy to go to, but still, it probably wasn't his first choice, especially because he's not on a roster that is probably going to win all that much this season. He may help make them competitive. I don't think it's going to be a roster which is going to be setting the world alight, but of course there is always concern when Aspas is on the other side of the server. But what he has managed to achieve here is that he's left Lev, he's gone to a team in MIBR, and at the end of the upcoming season, he will be able to walk away and go wherever he wants effectively, which would, if he locked down to a longer term deal, that would not have been so obvious. So I think this is probably a good decision from all parties, really. Into your thoughts in the comment section below. This from TenZ I thought was interesting just because, as we were discussing at the start of the video, problems in Ranked and Valorant in general, and TenZ says, there are other things to look at. ISO, Neon, and Clove have completely ruined the Ranked experience, he says. Obviously, Zekken has his pretty funny replies. Awful take, you're an idiot, dude. If you didn't play Duelist, TenZ wouldn't have retired right now. You killed Valorant. Echoing, I guess, what some people were saying there in the replies. This was interesting as well. So Xander flying from, I think that's the Toronto Pearson Airport, isn't it, to LAX. So look, 100T did get slammed yesterday by Trustin Plug, which was quite embarrassing, but I guess they didn't have all the team together at the same time. But then again, that Trustin Plug team had been formed for like 4 or 5 days. So with that roster of 5. So still not optimal that 100T lost in the way that they did. But as he says, nothing to worry about. Streams will be back up soon. See you guys soon. We'll see how good 100 T are going to be this season. I'm still not especially convinced. This, as well, is a bit of a look forward to the Soup Valorant League. We did see that it's going to be Sentinels versus Gen.G in the first rounds there, and that's going to be a banger. But I didn't really mention this yesterday, so I thought I would say it again, about how NRG and Bilibili Gaming have wound up in the same group here. And this is potentially great stuff, because we want to see an NRG-BLG rematch after all the drama of that matchup when Artis was on that roster, and we might get it here again, of course. So FNS versus Bilibili Gaming and NRG could be a banger. Is it going to happen? I mean, look, NRG are probably going to win that first series. Bilibili, are they going to beat DRX? Maybe not. Seems a little bit unlikely, but it's still very plausible that, I mean, let's say hypothetically, NRG and DRX win, then NRG drop down to losers. They might play BLG then. That could be a determining decider in terms of who makes it through to the next stage. So could be a big deal, but definitely the possibility is there for this bracket right now. But very much into your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. I'll just quickly refresh this series to see how they're getting on. Okay, PaperX have won the next couple of rounds. Big attacking side for them on Pearl. So hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.